can really see that lipstick there with that intense swatch for you. Hey guys, welcome back. So I got Friday favorites and Fooeys for you today, and I really haven't had any like super standout themes to what I've been loving kind of recently, but like this week it was more kind of just classic good makeup, kind of some warm tones, but just like classic pretty makeup. So yeah, got some new goodies. I think a couple new goodies, and then revisited a couple things in my collection. So yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so first off, been playing with this a lot. The It Cosmetics It Girl Beauty Book. This is from QVC. So I've gotten this the last several years, and I will say I'm a little bit sad that it wasn't the glittery packaging like the last two. Like, I know maybe some people wouldn't like that, but I loved that glittery packaging. That was actually one of my favorite things about them. So I think this is still really pretty, but I miss the glittery packaging. I think that that was like super fun. This is so cool. So you open it up and it's got the different parts in here. Oh, it's all gonna, these little plasticky things are gonna go everywhere. So let's get those out of the way. Okay, let's see, how can I show you? Let's see, I'll show you these two. I'm gonna do a whole video on this palette is my plan. So you've got kind of like face products over here, like bronzer, powder, concealers. You've got cheek and lip products here. So I'll talk about this in a second because I loved this week. So there are those. And then you've got eyeshadows in this section. Super duper pretty. So what do I have on? I have on something from another palette I'm about to mention to you, but from these shadows, why is this so difficult? From this like eyeshadow section here, I have some of this shade, but I also wore this one and loved it. So this is the blending shade. I like it, but I actually prefer to use the bronzer. So I just use the bronzer as my blending shade. So let me swatch some of the bronzer too, because it totally works as an eyeshadow too. Wow, my hands look dry. Don't ever realize it until I come in here and I go to swatch something on my hand and I'm like, oh my, that's rough. That is looking rough. We need some lotion on these hands. See, like this blending shade, it's pretty because it's cool tone and it's very subtle, but I just like a little bit more color. So actually I wore them together one day and they worked great that way. It kind of started with this one. It was very soft. If you like a soft sort of makeup look, I think you'll really enjoy that as a blending, or not blending, but like crease shade, crease transition color shade. But then I brought in a little bit of this just to give a little bit more depth and dimension. I have this one on today, but this one is so pretty, especially used with a setting spray. It's beautiful. Love this. So this is the kind of like shimmery shade on the inner half of my eyelid. Beautiful kind of like golden champagne color. It's really pretty. So I think this is just like a classic fun palette. Great for traveling. It's super cute. Let me swatch this, what is this? Blush and highlighter situation right here. So I do have this on as my blush today. Beautiful. And I also have that as my highlighter. So let's go ahead and just talk about one of my blush favorites for the week because it's in this palette. So there's that. And then also let's talk about my highlighter favorite for the week because it's in this palette. So what I did is I just kind of concentrated my brush down here for my blush. And then I concentrated a smaller brush up here for my highlighter. Totally worked great. You could totally like, you could blend them together and get a more kind of just glowy blush look. Wow, this blush is so pretty. Really didn't do that. I kept using them separate, but let's just swirl them together and see what kind of something that would create. Ooh, that's pretty. It's like a light glowy pink. Oh, that's really pretty. Okay, so wow. Look at that blush. It is a gorgeous, it's bright, but it's really beautiful on the cheeks. I mean, it just blends very well, so you can diffuse it so it doesn't end up being super duper intense. That's gorgeous. And then the highlighter is a beautiful kind of like, I would say like a peachy, pinky champagne. And then there they are swirled together. Ends up being still overall kind of a blush color because that's, you know, there's that pink is the majority of the section, and also it's a pretty intense color, so I think that it ends up still being a blush overall if you swirl them together. But great formula on these products, so impressed with it. They wear well, they're easy to work with. They end up just creating this, well, a ton of different looks, but just this, I mean, IT Cosmetics does just like enhanced beauty so well. That's not super over the top, it's just beautiful. So this is no different. Totally a great little palette. I revisited this guy this week. Absolutely love this palette, have loved it ever since I got it. This is the Rimmel Magnifies Spice Edition. I think these little palettes are so good. I mean, you can get them regular price, they're a great price, but on a special or a sale with coupons, blah, blah, you can get them crazy affordable sometimes. So I think they're awesome little palettes, but this one is one of my very favorites. It is just gorgeous, and I mean, the quality is amazing. So I have this on the outer corners of my eyes today. I love this shade right here. It's kind of like a mustardy camel sort of a color. This one is a beautiful shade for just kind of deepening up. It's another one of my favorites. Of course, this like bright reddish copper. They are stunning. If you love a coppery, warm eyeshadow look, ooh, this is amazing. If you own this palette and you haven't given it love in a while, totally bust it out and show it some love, because it is just beautiful. I mean, the quality is amazing. It is so good. I don't have any complaints about this palette. Pigmented, gorgeous colors. I mean, just intense looking on the eyes. They wear well. The mattes are easy to blend. I mean, they kick up a little bit of product in the pan, but I don't notice like intense fallout on the face. Just tap off your brush. So great quality, especially for the price point. And they just look stunning on the eyes. I love wearing the metallic-y shades with a setting spray because it just makes it look like melted copper. I mean, it is stunning. So gorgeous. Just intensifies them even more. Such a good palette. So I ordered a couple things off the Ulta website from this brand. This is the Sweet and Shimmer. I think that's the brand name. So this is the blush palette. I got this, a lip crayon, and a little eyeshadow quad. But this is what I've used the most so far. Everything I think was $3, at least of the things that I got. I think there were some things, I'm trying to remember, they had like tools and some other things, but everything was super affordable, like $3 and under from what I can remember. So this was, I think, $2.99, and let me see if it says anything. No, it just says blush palette. Blush palette. So yeah, I wore this several times, and I really like this little thing. I mean, it is not expensive packaging, but I think it's still cute because you can see through it, and then it's kind of like got iridescent sort of outsides to it. So, I mean, for a $3 blush, I think the packaging is great. I think it totally works and it's functional. Look how pretty! These blushes are beautiful. I was really impressed with them. Kind of like similar sort of color to that IT Cosmetics blush. Maybe a little bit more mauve-y, a little bit less warm toned, but pretty close. So here they are. So I wore them both, like both together. I would start with the lighter one, and then I would bring in just a little bit of the deeper one, just kind of a little bit lower on my cheeks, and just kind of blend it up to kind of almost like do the draping thing where it's sort of giving, it's almost like contouring with a blush. So I kind of did that, but I was still wearing it with a bronzer. But just to give that kind of like dimension to the cheeks, if that makes sense. So lighter all around, and then the darker kind of concentrating it there, and then blending it up into that lighter. Beautiful. I would say that they are overall satin finish because they don't look flat matte, and they do catch the light just slightly. I mean, they're definitely not a shimmer, and they're not an intense satin. They're moving more towards a matte, but they have a little bit of like a light catching property to them. So yeah, for $3, I think it's a nice little blush palette. I like it. Okay, for lips this week, I'm so bummed that I cannot find one of the lipsticks that I was wearing this week. I don't even remember the name of the brand because it was, I think I got it in my Ipsy bag. I'll try to remember to show it to you next week. If I can find the thing, I have no idea where it went. I thought it was in my purse. I dug around in my purse. Cannot find it. So it grew legs and walked off. If I can find it, I will show it to you next week. It was a really pretty kind of neutral brown color, and I liked it. But I do have 2 other favorites that I also enjoyed this week. Revisited this one in my collection. This is from Avon. This is Wineberry, and it's a satin. This is really, really pretty. It's overall just kind of a wine. Gorgeous. So it says it's a satin. Yes, but I would say moving more towards a cream. So I like to blot this down a little bit because it's more of that cream finish, and it's a very like hydrating cream sort of a lipstick. So I find that this gets on my teeth unless I blot it down. I just like the low maintenance-ness of blotting my lipsticks or having them more on the matte side. So I like to blot this down a little bit, but really beautiful kind of like a richer berry moving towards a deeper wine color. It's gorgeous. Really good formula. Avon really does have a ton of pretty lipsticks. A lot of, I would say none of them are like intense. Well, I'm trying to remember. Most of them are kind of more neutral, you know, wearable sort of shades, even if they're like a deeper color like this. So they have a ton in that kind of family that are really, really pretty and good prices on them too. So yeah, that was a favorite. And then wowee, I love this lip combo right here. I think it's just such a beautiful neutral combo. So I have a liner and a lipstick that I used to create it. So this is the Maybelline Color Sensational Shaping Lip Liner in 132 Almond Rose. So it's a really pretty, just kind of mauve-y, rosy color. Beautiful. It's real creamy. So it's a creamy lip liner. I really like these though. I think they're really good from Maybelline and affordable. So there's that. I'll show you both of them in just a second. And then the lipstick is the Hikari lipstick in Romance. I think I got this in an Ipsy bag one month. This is beautiful. Oh my goodness. It is a stunning, like peachy nude color. Really beautiful. Okay, this swatch is getting way out of hand. I keep trying to even it out and it just gets, I don't know. You can really see that lipstick there with that intense swatch for you. So there you go. It's a beautiful peachy nude sort of a color, peachy neutral color. So on me and my skin tone, it just ends up being this gorgeous neutral shade that is overall a nude, but not like a wash me out nude. It's just kind of a neutral color that goes with a lot of makeup looks, but still has some color to it, if that makes sense. So beautiful. And I love it paired with this kind of deeper mauve color because it just gives this kind of like dimension to the lips. Beautiful. Really great formula on this. It's very comfortable. I would describe this definitely as a true satin lipstick. I would describe this one more as a satin lipstick than the Avon because it is not completely matte, but it's moving towards that. So really low maintenance, comfortable on the lips, very pretty, doesn't look dry on the lips. I love it. So great formula on this lipstick and beautiful color. Okay guys, those are all my favorites for this week. So hope that you really enjoyed this video. Please hit a thumbs up if you did. Let me know down below what you were loving this week or maybe not so much loving. Let me know your weekend plans or any questions that you have. I'm happy to answer those. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!